What's good everyone, it's your boy Yadiiiigg, 4 Eyes, 2 G's here, and today we're here reporting for No Jumper to talk about the collaborative project between Playboi Carti and Lil Uzi Vert 1629, which was announced all the way back in September of 2017. Now before we get onto that, let's just back it up a few months. In April of 2017, Playboi Carti, after years of anticipation, dropped his self-titled debut project to immense success, scoring the now multi-platinum hits Magnolia and Woke Up Like This, which helped him explode from his SoundCloud bubble and propelled him into the playlist of V-Lone soldiers worldwide. And Lil Uzi, having already established a name for himself in 2016 thanks to a string of hit singles and big projects, had an even bigger year, between Bad and Bougie hitting #1 on the Billboard Top 100 and his very own Smash EXO Tour Life. These helped to certify his status within the mainstream and spread his name worldwide, which culminated in his debut studio album Love Is Rage 2 having raving commercial success upon release. And for someone who had been huge fans of these two since 2015 and before they had any type of success that they eventually would, I was so immensely proud to see them both win like this. However, outside of their own respective individual careers that I was heavily invested in, just the same was the journey of following these two's relationship, with one iconic collaboration after another, a mini tour together in 2016, and countless unreleased snippets. The two princes of the SoundCloud generation seemed to be an inseparable duo across 2016 and 2017. Then in late 2017, Playboi Carti would post this on his social media, announcing a collaborative project between the two, leading to thousands of white boys all around the world revering at the news. However, this moment that was once exciting, now 3 years later, is slightly tainted, considering the fact we never got to see the project come to fruition. But what happened to the project? We know for a fact that there was music recorded for it, and according to Playboi Carti, they have over 100 songs together. Well, let's break it down. So let's bring it back to the moment of Carti announcing the project. As Carti and Uzi both have some of the most insane dedicated internet fan bases out there, this caused an uproar on the internet, with fans impatiently waiting to hear the music that the two had been cooking up. However, unbeknownst to fans at that time, it wouldn't take long for them to hear full finished tracks from the album. However, it wasn't in the way they perhaps expected. On the 14th of October, tragedy strikes the respective Uzi and Carti camps as the most anticipated song from the upcoming tape somehow found its way to leak online, Break the Bank. And as fans everywhere rejoiced with them finally hearing the track, little did they know that this would be the first domino to fall, which would affect everything else to come. It's heavily rumored that this was poised to be the lead single for the project, as not only had they teased it before, leading to a lot of hype for the song from fans, but they'd even shot a music video for the song, which was previewed later on by Playboi Carti. So the track leaks in October, and to Uzi and Carti fans, leaks were really nothing new, and we're seeing this par for the course of a good album rollout. Moving on, just a few days after this, a huge announcement would come in the form of a 1629 collaborative tour between Uzi and Carti. Now, as I said, this isn't the first time the two have gone on a tour together, and I remember thinking to myself at that time, well, if the album actually does exist and it's actually going to come out, this was a real tangible signal that it was real and it was coming soon. Why else would they go on a sizable tour across a whole country if the album wasn't real? However, then less than 24 hours after the tour is announced, Uzi takes to Twitter to say that the tour is cancelled, saying that it needs to focus. And you guys got to think, in order for a tour to have 18 confirmed dates, venues be announced by the management of the team, there is so much planning that goes into that, between the booking agents, deposit for money, staff for the tour, buses or plane rides, etc, etc. So for all this time and resources to be wasted, something serious must have happened. And this is a moment where fans began to speculate that the leaking of Break the Bank had much deeper ramifications for the project than first anticipated, and that the leaking of that record could have led to the cancellation of the tour and possibly meant that the album was never going to come out. Then fast forward just a couple months after, and we would see another highly anticipated song from the project, Firearms/Squad, leak online, only further fueling these rumors that the album was scrapped and was never going to come out due to these leaks. Then randomly, out of nowhere, in the middle of December, Playboi Carti uploads this to Instagram, a short video teaser for Break the Bank, which according to him was said to be releasing on December 29th. So it seemed at this stage that they had sorted out the behind the scenes stuff and that the project was a go ahead. However, then less than 10 or so minutes after the IG post, the snippet is deleted from his Instagram and the full video never surfaces and obviously doesn't release on the 29th. A bizarre, confusing moment that could be interpreted a variety of ways, and really this was the last solid piece of information or kind of news, quote unquote, that we ever really got about the songs or the project. Instead, over the next year or so, while we would get no new information from Uzi or Carti directly about the project, instead what we were getting was leak after leak of their collaborations. In February of 2018, we would get Bankroll, in August we would get Big Bang, and in December we would get Throw It Up. So at at this point, by the start of 2019, essentially since December 2017, we hadn't gotten any new information about the status of the project, whether it was coming out, whether it still even exists, but we were seeing all these songs and all these collaborations from the two leak, and it's often speculated amongst fans about the ramifications that leaks have, how artists feel about them, etc, etc. But without a doubt, this fabled Uzi Carti project is one of the most prime examples of leaks completely ruining a project. The only other time we heard either of them directly address the collab project was Uzi when he said this in March of 2019 on his Instagram Live.
Bro, y'all asked me one thing about Carti. Y'all said that why we ain't dropped 1629, bro. I said I don't got the songs. I don't have them.
And I remember seeing this clip at the time and thinking, yeah, that's a wrap. If Uzi is saying that he doesn't have the songs 1.5 years after the album has been announced, it's clear that this album has been scrapped and it's never dropping. However, we do know since March 2019, there has been a lot of talk about the state of Uzi and Carti's relationship. From Uzi originally outing them as quote unquote going different routes in late 2019, which confirmed the speculation within their communities that they were no longer on the best of terms. Now, if you aren't familiar as to why people were thinking they were kind of beefing or had their own personal issues already, this was because before the release of Die Lit in May of 2018, they'd collaborated something like 6 times on officially released music. But after May of 2018, we would never hear them again on an officially released song. But then on top of that, as I said, in 2016 and 2017, they were essentially inseparable. As I said, they went on a mini tour together, plus on top of this, they were always photographed and always seen together. But then in 2018 and 2019, they were basically never seen together. So as I said, Uzi coming out and saying this kind of confirmed speculation that was going on within the communities already. Then fast forward a couple months after that to April of 2020, where fans were left confused as hell as to what exactly was going on between these two. Where if you guys don't know, after Carti revealed his cover art for his At Me single, Uzi would then post his own interpolation of the cover art with him on it instead. Plus we saw a flurry of tweets that were either directly at Carti or were kind of interpreted to be talking towards him. And then on top of that, when Carti tweeted out .Monday, Uzi would then copy that exact same tweet, and then Monday came and went and literally nothing happened between the two. No videos, no music, nothing. Again, if you remember that situation, it was so confusing. We weren't sure whether they were beefing or whether they were secretly manipulating our heartstrings all for promotion and publicity. However, then by the end of the month, we saw these tweets come out from both of them confirming that they kind of reunited and that they were no longer beefing or anything like that. Then on top of that, we saw the first photo of them surface together in a very long time, seemingly in the studio. Plus then later on, we would get a snippet of their first song together in a hella long time, which has been dubbed SRT by fans and sounds really good, which is an amazing sight to see because I always prefer to see artists kind of reunite and collaborate again as opposed to unnecessarily prolonging their beefs. And with them being on better terms as of right now, this has sparked up rumors within the respective communities about the possibility of that collaborative project being back on the table and being back in the works. However, to be honest, I'm very reluctant to even get remotely excited for any sort of a collaborative project or to ever see 1629 actually come out. At this point, I'd just be happy for Carti to release anything aside from cryptic tweets and snippets that inevitably end up leaking. So yeah, as you guys can see, it's definitely been an interesting journey kind of following these two's relationship over the past couple years, and kind of getting back to the whole point of the video and that collaborative project that was announced in 2017 by Carti. Without a doubt, as I've explained, the numerous amount of leaks that we would see come out over the next couple years after the announcement definitely played a huge role in that album never coming out. And although on one hand it's good that we actually have the songs and that we can actually get a chance to listen to music from that era, on another hand we really got to ask, was it worth it getting that music early if at the end of the day we didn't get to see the projects because of those leaks? But yeah, that's pretty much everything we know in regards to the project right there. Make sure to let us know in the comments below, do you think the project is ever gonna come out, and do you even still want the project at this stage considering it was announced like 3 years ago now? Make sure to let us know. Also, if you guys don't know, myself, Yadiiiigg, I do have my own YouTube channel where I upload very similar content to this. I cover all the SoundCloud era artists, Carti, Yadiiiigg, Uzi, etc. Link will be in the description if you guys want to check it out. That will be much appreciated. Also, a big thank you to Adam, Housephone, Camgirl, and the whole No Jumper crew for letting me on the channel again. It's a big opportunity and it's much appreciated. Also, there are more No Jumper videos on the screen right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't. But that's all from me today, guys. Hope everyone has a good day. Peace.